Welcome to the Shamrock Sports Talk Show with your hosts, Igor Mitic from Serbia, Europe, and Andy Vernon from Concord, New Hampshire. We are about pride, tradition, sweat, tears, victory, and determination of Boston sports. Give us a ring at 512-543-4662. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the Shamrock Sports Talk Show. Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the In the Zone Sports Talk Show Network, LLC, where you can find the best in sports talk television and radio shows. Mondays, check out the Just Us Sports Talk Show from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your hosts, Kevin L. Dixon and Dana Clark. Then Tuesday, we have the Stars Talking Cowboys Sports Show from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern with your hosts, Sean Fox, K Boogie, and Cowboys Nikki. And on Wednesday, tune in for the Out the Block Sports Talk Show from 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with hosts Robert Lewis, Donna Hainsworth, and Brett Shields. Then meet up with us on Saturday for the Enhanced Sports Talk Show from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern with hosts Lou Tenor and Steve Davidson. We also have the DMV Sports Talk Show from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern with your host Razul McGee. As well, we have the Shamrock Sports Talk Show from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern with Igor Mitic and Andy Vernon. Finally, rounding out the week, we have on Sunday, That's Not How We See It Sports Talk Show from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern with your host, Alfred Wallace, Tony Wallace, and Harold Robinson III. These shows come to you by way of the In the Zone Sports Talk Show Network, LLC. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.
Okay, so the show is on. Welcome to another edition of Shamrock Sports Talk Show. This is season 1 of our show, episode number 30th. You are watching the first July edition. I'm Igor Mitic, as you heard it in our intro jingles from Serbia, and this is Andrew Vernon from USA. We are the Shamrock Sports Talk show, the brand new show that we established prior to the last year, and we are proud to do the first edition of, this is practically off-season edition, but we have tons news to do. Andy, first of all, good night, and how are you feeling tonight, Andy?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Great. Kevin promised to join us anyway. Even if Kevin doesn't join us, we have tons of a job to do. Updates, comments, etc. First of all, pictures that we prepared. First, this picture with this man. This picture will have the meaning because the deal that is in progress according to Boston Sports Boston.com and NBC Sports Boston. Celtics and Kristaps Porzingis are apparently working on the 2 years deal worth $60 million. For some reasons, I cannot open the page, but This deal is interesting, Andy, because I mean the Celtics are deeply into tax line. They already crossed the first apron line, and they are. I don't have the exact number, but approximately to $7 or $8 million close to the second apron. And we discussed the penalties that the teams face according to the new CBA. A large book is coming to is coming in the hands of GMs of every single NBA team to a couple of days before this 1st July. Brad Stevens and his staff are studying this CBA. The penalties are really strict, and we do not want to cross the second apron. Anyway, finally got the news. Celtics, Kristaps Porzingis, apparently looking forward the 2-year extension. I have the picture somewhere. Pardon. I have the picture somewhere. Yes. So the Celtics and Kristaps Porzingis, the deal will be approximately worth $60 million in 2 years. So a little more than the Celtics are finalizing 2-year extension worth $60 million. Bleacher Report, Chris Haynes reported Friday, Porzingis could have seen the free agent this summer, but he decided to pick up $36 million option for the 2023-24 season in order to facilitate the trade with the Celtics, because the Celtics would not trade for him if he didn't pick up his player option for this season. Once he reported extension becomes official, Porzingis will be under contract with the Celtics until the end of 2025-26 season. So while it was reported around the time the trade went down that Boston and Porzingis agreed to extension, the two sides technically aren't able to make official until July. The Celtics were not able to get him for price lower than maximum, so Porzingis will receive in the extension, which was 2-year, $77.5 million deal. Now, at the moment, the Porzingis is one of the 3 players the Celtics have under contract throughout the 2025-26 season. Jaylen Brown is extension eligible this off-season, and he could receive 5-year maximum deal that would lock him in green throughout the 2028-29 season. Jason Tatum also has player option for 2025-26 season, but the Celtics can extend him as early as 2024 season. Robert Williams is the other player under contract throughout 2025-26 season. Porzingis, 27, joined the Celtics from Wizards, scored 23 points, 8.4 rebounds per game, shooted 50% from the field, and 38.5% beyond the threes. And we acquired him in Marcus Smart trade. Danilo Gallinari and Mike Muscala also included in the deal, and we gave away the second rounder, received the 2 first rounders. We commented the deal in the prior show. Now, Andy, what is your sentiment towards this extension? Now, no extension on the horizon about Jaylen Brown. Now, Jason Tatum is not extension eligible. He is extension eligible the next July 2024. We heard about Robert Williams. So if all those extensions materialize, the Celtics could have the core throughout 2025-26 season of Tatum, Brown, Porzingis, and Robert Williams the third. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, like I think it was pretty much a given that the Celtics were going to try to extend him. I think it's a good decision because if you think about it, we brought him to Boston, traded off Marcus Smart for him. We were originally going to trade Brogdon, ended up trading Smart, but really that move shows that this team wants to win, and we see Porzingis as the third star who could take us over the top. And if he is the third star and Boston's plan comes to fruition, that he's the third star on a championship caliber team. So paying him $30 million a year is pretty like that's a given. That's the cost of doing business. I think the worst that happens is he gets injured again. If there's another long injury, but I also don't think you could financially plan around that. Because if we thought he was going to get injured again next season, we wouldn't have traded for him. So I think given that Boston went out there, traded for Porzingis, brought him in, I think that makes sense that we signed him to a 2-year agreement. It puts security on Porzingis, like he has that security now, so he can kind of focus his attention on playing basketball instead of trying to play for a contract. And I think the other factor here is that contract is pretty tradable. Like I said, barring the major injury scenario, Porzingis you'll probably be able to move him at $30 million a year, assuming he has anything close to a season in Washington. So I think it's a pretty solid extension all the way around. I mean, once again, the big concern is injury, but that's the big concern with it's not just Porzingis. I know Porzingis has the injury history, but let's be honest, injuries are a major concern with every single player in the modern NBA because you have guys. I look at Lonzo Ball. He came into the league young and has spent a ton of his young career injured, in part because his dad designed a crappy shoe. But I mean, you look at things like that though, and you kind of like injuries are just the reality of the modern NBA. I think we're better at diagnosing them. Players are now more adamant about not playing through injuries. So I think that's a concern with every player, and we can't let that keep us away from extending somebody that the team clearly believes is the third star to make this team a championship contender.
I mean, I'm happy with this move. I said that I'm sorry for Marcus Smart. I wish that we have Marcus Smart and Kristaps Porzingis, but this was not possible thanks to Clippers. And by the way, Clippers renewed the interest towards Malcolm Brogdon. But you know what? This very moment, if I am Brad Stevens and the Celtics, I would just hang up the phone to the Clippers general manager. I would just say, you know what? You just refused us when we were in dire need for this trade. So absolutely no. We are in no interest trading Malcolm Brogdon. I mean, they now heard the reports that Malcolm Brogdon will be eligible to play at the beginning of the season, and they say, "Oh, well, let's try to, trade for Malcolm Brogdon."
I mean,
Absolutely not.
I would answer the phone and I'd tell him like, "You want Malcolm Brogdon? Send me Kawhi."
Yes, that's a good answer. That's a good answer. But I mean, my point is that we need Malcolm Brogdon. If he's healthy, the health is concerned. I mean, Marcus Smart has injury history, not as big as Kristaps Porzingis, but he has. Who else? Malcolm Brogdon has injury history. Robert Williams has injury history. But we need a little luck and the help of our medicine team to be in good shape. But anyway, I think that we need the three players that we mentioned in the last show. Don't want to repeat myself. Point guard, the first, or shooting guard. Power forward, 3-and-D guy, 15 minutes per game behind Tatum and Brown, and another big man. And we will talk about this in a minute. The second subject we want to talk about is Let me remove Malcolm Brogdon. Picture Malcolm Brogdon. Kristaps Porzingis picture, for example. Let's look at Mr. Robert Williams. Robert Williams numbers. If you can see them from the last season. Let's talk about potential extension of Jaylen Brown a little. This extension would see his annual salary range between 50 millions for 2024-25 season and over 66 millions for the 2028-29 season. So he would be locked until the end of 2028-29 season. This would be the final year of the deal, and he would likely have an option, player option, for the last year of his contract. Now, questions. Is Jaylen Brown eligible for an extension? Jaylen Brown total of 31 millions. By the way, when we talk Jaylen Brown, I think that I have also the exit picture of Jaylen Brown, or I thought that I have the exit picture of Jaylen Brown. I think that I cannot find it. I thought that I uploaded it, but never mind. Never mind. So let's just leave Mr. Williams here. We talked about Williams as well. Where were I? Okay. Is he eligible? Extension eligible? So Kevin is trying to call. Jaylen Brown totally this year 32 millions. He's set to earn this in the final year of the current deal. So Kevin is trying to call, but it is not working. He should try to join us via link. Jaylen Brown total 31 millions, the final year of the deal. It is set to earn in the final year. It would leave him short of the maximum contract he could require on the open market if he opts out. So can the Celtics pay Tatum and Brown? At present, the Celtics are fifth most valuable team in the NBA, worth 3.9 millions. They can definitely afford to pay the first two stars. Okay, let me just try to okay, not working. Sorry, we are not receiving calls. Not getting calls apparently. We can definitely afford Jaylen Brown. How much does Jaylen Brown make a year? 24.83 last year. How many rebounds? Average 17.9 points, 5.2 rebounds, 2.2 assists in 470 games. What is maximum extension? In veteran extension, the maximum first year salary can be greater of either up to 100% of the player's previous salary and or 120% of the estimated average player's salary. Can you make NBA at 30 years old? All drafted players must be at 19 years old, and etc. etc. The point is that the Celtics will extend Jaylen Brown. Now they are negotiate. They can eventually make a deal, or if they don't make a deal, it doesn't matter that Jaylen Brown will leave. It just means that Jaylen Brown wants to wait for the summer. How do you feel about it, Andy?
Well, I think the thing with Jaylen Brown, the first promising thing is that he opted out of his contract, which that's like the new indicator in the NBA that somebody's going to re-sign with their team is when they opt out. And second of all the reports out of Boston say that both sides are confident they're going to get something done. So, and I've considered it may be a case where both sides are waiting to see how the roster shakes out. Because Jaylen Brown's extension will bring the Celtics very close or, into a territory where nobody's going to want to pay that much in salary. So it may be that Brown is willing to take a shorter contract with slightly less money if they feel that they could build a championship contender around him with the next money or with the extra money. That's not unheard of. The other factor could be that both sides are confident they're going to get it done. They have an open rapport, and because they both know that they both have like a verbal agreement or sort of verbal agreement or an informal agreement of some type, they're just not rushing to put ink to paper. That's also very possible. If they're very well acquainted with each other, they feel comfortable, they have an understanding, a mutual understanding. It might just not be as high priority as some of the other things, like nailing down free agents and getting the trades done before the draft and all of that. So I think that that's also very possible. Personally, I'm not really concerned that about Jaylen Brown. I'm pretty sure he'll sign. I'm pretty sure he'll sign a new contract with Boston. I think it's more just a matter of time.
Okay, let's talk a little about the rumors. You are watching Kristaps Porzingis' presentation picture in TD Garden. More clues or what the Celtics and by the way, the most important note is that according to NBC Sports Boston, Brad Stevens received the green light to spend until until of course the Celtics are under the second apron, and to add all necessary players in order to win the championship. And this is the good sign. So it means that the more moves are coming. According to ESPN Mark Jones, the Celtics are showing strong interests in free agent Terence Davis. Milwaukee Bucks also reportedly considering Davis an option. Davis is another low-cost backcourt option on growing list. Derrick Rose was one of them, but he agreed with Memphis. Memphis is stronger and stronger every day. So he joins Toronto Raptors reserve guard Dalano Banton on that list. Please know Dalano Banton. The rumors suggested bigger moves involving Celtics backcourt are on the table. About the fit, Terence Davis is 6'4", ex-Kings shooting guard, shooting 6.7 points, 2.2 rebounds per game, Sacramento. 42% from the floor, 36.6% for threes, 80% from the free throws. I mean, one of the options. Did you watch Terence Davis? What do you say about him? I will address.
He's a 3-point. He's a decent or budget, I guess I would say, decent budget to decent 3-point specialist is really what he is. I'm not, if he's cheap and you could get him on like a minimum or close to a minimum, I would definitely do it. It's worth having a 36%, career shooter on the roster. He's somebody you can put him in, give him a couple minutes. If he's hot, you leave him in, let him hit 2 or 3 3-pointers.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's really kind of the role that he plays. I don't think he's a good defender. I haven't watched him play a lot, but I know that he played a Kings team that had historically bad defense. So I don't think that's a promising sign. But as a guy you can spot in and do 10 to 15 minutes and hit a couple 3-pointers in that time period, he's a very viable option. If you could get him at close to a minimum, I would definitely do it. He's the type of guy that you could have in the 8 through 10 slot on the bench, and you need a scoring spike, you can stick him in there and have him get a couple spot up threes, and you're good.
Okay, another rumor. So about the Celtics that they are interested in ex-Lakers and Clippers point guard Patrick Beverly. So
Please, no.
34, 34 years old, Beverly finished the season with the Bulls, and he signed with Chicago following a buyout by Magic. He made 13 millions the last year, and he will be looking at a sizable pay cut the next destination. So it's hard to envision Beverly seeing much of a fit himself right now in Boston's current roster without movement in their backcourt because they have Derek White and Malcolm Brogdon, Peyton Pritchard, all under contracts. If Brogdon and Pritchard were on the move in separate deals, uh, Beverly could see the role, but if everybody stays, hardly. Boston Celtics don't have much to offer to Beverly in free agency. If Grant Williams is part of Celtics plans, it's unclear in this point. The Celtics won't be able to offer even the taxpayer mid-level exception, which is $5 million, and we are not able to offer it taxpayer mid-level exception, and still under we are still under the second apron, which would become hard cap if you use mid-level exception. So Boston, this is the reason why we're not able to offer mid-level exception, because we would hard cap ourselves that way. Boston could offer Beverly veteran minimum, but odds are likely that Beverly may have bigger market than Boston. Either way, Beverly probably won't be among the first players to land deals at cap space. Hopefully, we have. Oh man. Hopefully we have Kevin. Let me see. Let me see. Yes, we have. We are adding to the stream Mr. Kevin Dixon finally with us. And let me just remove the picture. Mr. Kevin, how are you tonight? Glad to see you after a while, after a vacation of yours. We are working hard here. So welcome. Yes, really nice to see you. How do you feel these days?
How you guys doing, man?
How you
Excellent.
doing?
We just started the news, and let's jump into the news. Do you want to comment anything about the Celtics moves this off season? What are you hoping for from the Celtics in the next days?
Um, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm not feeling too confident in the Jalen Brown situation. Um, wait a second. Um, something's don't something's just not right here because if they're gonna make some major moves, who are they gonna make the major moves with? If they're talking about some major move, because unless they're talking about Brogdon moving again, um, I don't see nobody else using Brogdon and maybe Grant Williams. That's all I can see. I can't see nothing else. Um,
Grant
I'm just
Williams.
trying to say that again.
Grant Williams.
Yeah,
Sign and trade. Grant Williams.
yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Um, but the question is, what team? What team are we looking at? I know
Uh,
Dallas.
there's
Magic, Orlando Magic for Fultz, Dallas. Andy, which player do we want from Dallas guards? I mean,
Well, that's the problem is I don't know who you'd want off of Dallas for guards. I
except
mean,
Luca,
I don't
obviously.
know. Like, I don't think they'd part with THJ, but
Hmm.
that would be the one who would. And THJ isn't really a guard; he's a shooting guard, small forward. But
Yeah.
that would be a logical target for Boston.
Hmm.
But I don't. I mean, like, because they got rid of Brunson. I mean, we could bring Kyrie back.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, by the way, when you mentioned Kyrie, we didn't start other teams' news. Kyrie agreed with Dallas. Let me find the news I have somewhere. Breaking. No, Schroeder. Okay, keep talking until I find
Well, yeah, I know you agreed to
Kyrie.
a deal with Dallas. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know how that man has a job in the NBA. To be honest, like he's just so
Yeah.
unreliable. At every team he's been on, every single one since LeBron has imploded.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea.
He's more like businessman than player these days. I mean,
No, he's just weird. Like he ain't no
yeah.
businessman. He's just weird.
But you know what though? He did. I mean, he performed when he went to Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Luca was the one that had the issue.
I
Just watching some of the games, the problem with Luca
Mhm.
was he didn't know if he should be the go-to guy now, or should he be the second guy, or the third guy, or whatever. And I think once they figure this
Definitely.
thing out, I think they'll be all right.
I
Um,
don't
Mhm.
I don't I
you
don't
don't
think
think?
they fit well. I don't think they fit well together. You have two ball dominant bad defenders at the guard spots. I don't feel like that's going to work. Not in the West.
I found it. I found it. Kyrie Irving agreed 3 years deal worth
Yeah.
126 millions. 3 years, 126 millions. Let me just calculate. 126 millions divided to 3 years, 42 millions per year. 42 millions
Mhm.
per year average. Of course, it's not 42 years every year, but lower than uprising. I mean, unbelievable, unfreaking believable.
Well, if you guys think about it, where else was he gonna get that money? Where else was they gonna give him that
Mhm.
money? And they was not gonna just let him walk because they let go of Brunson in a
Yeah.
situation similar. So
Yeah,
they had to give him something. But again, I'm still not. The verdict's not out with them yet, in my opinion. I want to see them play some games because they kind of played at the end of the season. Why they tanked, I have no idea. Made no sense to me whatsoever. Um, but I want to see what they look like at the beginning of the year once they know each other's quirks and qualms and they run plays for each other. Um, Now I'm gonna say this though: if it doesn't work out, I don't think Kyrie's gonna be the one leaving. I
No,
think
it'll be Luca.
you think it'd be Luca.
Hmm.
I think they'll fire. I think Jason Kidd will leave first. I think Jason Kidd will get
Yeah.
fired first
Well,
before
they'll
they leave.
fire Kid first, but I
Yeah.
think if one of the stars leaves, I think it'll be Luca who demands a trade out.
yeah, 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 definitely.
But
Let's comment other deals. For example, Cam Reddish and Los Angeles Lakers agreed 2 years deal. Then bigger deals. LaMelo Ball is finalizing 5 years deal extension worth to 260 millions per
Let,
chance.
let's
I
talk about
mean,
him. Let's talk about him for a minute though.
mhm,
So they got a new owner, right?
mhm.
They got a new. Do they got a new coach? Or they got the same coach?
mm, I'm not sure.
Not sure.
Okay.
Indeed.
So you sign for all that money, and I can't even name the starting five. I know you got Rozier.
Hayward's still there, right?
Wood. Yep.
Rozier,
Um,
Hayward, Bridges,
Yeah,
Bridges,
Bridges.
and
Mikael
that
Bridges.
strong
Are they
man,
using? Oh no, PJ Washington left, right? Is he
PJ
still there?
Washington. PJ Washington was there. I think that they have some strong center. Maybe one of
Because
the
they got rid of
brothers.
Plumlee was there, right? And he
One of
left.
the
He's
brothers,
gone.
Plumlee. He's
Yeah.
gone.
So I'm
Yeah, I
like,
think it's PJ Washington.
PJ Washington. Bridges, PJ Washington, Hayward, Rozier, and LaMelo Ball, let's say.
Yeah. On
so that
paper, it's a decent roster, but
Decent roster.
I'm surprised. I'm a,
Play
I'm,
in.
Just for the sign for all that money is just.
I mean,
Easy.
he's their cornerstone. They don't have another player to give the money, and according to the new CBA, you must spend. Otherwise, if you do not spend money, you cannot sit there and do not give money because you will be penalized. You will be fined.
Yeah, but
So
50 million plus per year for 5 years. I mean, if say the economy tanks, which there's a very real chance it does, NBA
Yeah.
loses money, that salary cap's going to go down. And you think if it dips back down to 120, I mean, you're looking at having almost half of your cap in one guy.
He's going to be like 40, almost like 40% of their cap.
Yeah. That's right.
Man, that's crazy, man.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure he's better than Derek White. On the contrary, but never mind. Brook Lopez returning to Milwaukee Bucks on 2 years deal, 48 million. That's not surprise. I'm happy that Los
2 years
Angeles
at
Lakers.
48 though.
Yeah, 24.
I think they where else was he trying? Somebody else was trying to get him.
LA.
Lakers.
So they probably outbid.
The Lakers,
they pretty much outbid LA for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Lakers didn't get him, which is good, but Milwaukee get him, which is bad because he's one of the top 4 players of our probably biggest rival, I would say. I'm not considering Heat the biggest threat for Eastern Conference crown. Sorry, Heat fans. Maybe I'm underestimate Heat again, but I think Milwaukee is number 2.
So that's 24 million a year for a guy that can't defend the perimeter at all.
And they gave Middleton a nice little piece of change too.
I have something about Middleton down there. I think that he has the highest player option in the NBA history, 40 millions or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if what happens to him right
now. So let me ask you guys a question. So he opted out of his contract knowing that they could offer him more money.
Middleton?
Yes. Because Igor already signed with Milwaukee. I don't know how much it was for.
Yes.
But
definitely.
It was huge. So they're basically trying to keep the core together.
Yeah.
To keep Giannis happy because there's some grumblings in Milwaukee.
Holiday, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Middleton, Brook Lopez. Who else is there? Yeah, the same team practically.
The starting 5 is still there, right? You got Holiday and
the one they're probably going to lose. I'm guessing they'll lose Joe Ingles, who was their 6th man.
He already signed with somebody.
Yeah, I was. Oh, did he? Okay, I know he was most likely to leave.
I think he signed with the Pacers, if I'm not mistaken.
That makes sense.
I will check out. Didn't get this news. Joe Ingles signs. I will try. By the way, when you mentioned the Pacers, I mean, didn't have information about Joe Ingles. Could not find it. Anyway, when you mentioned the Pacers, I have information somewhere about Tyrese Halliburton receiving their maximum, breaking some records of Indiana Pacers franchise. Andy,
he got paid too.
He got paid too. I mean, yes, All-Star point guard Tyrese Halliburton agreed with Indiana 5 years maximum designated maximum contract extension, same as LaMelo Ball. 5 years, 260 millions. 5 years, 260 millions, and he became the franchise cornerstone. I mean, I love the guy. I wanted him in Boston.
I do too. He's not 260 million for 5 years though.
But not for 260 millions.
Yeah, I mean,
so they probably
go ahead.
Somebody probably they had to outbid somebody for his services. Yeah. If these guys were getting the max, somebody was lurking around, and so they you think about it for real, man. The NBA paid these guys all this money before they start performing is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, the way I see it, like, here's my thing with the new CBA is I feel like what this is going to do, it's going to lead kind of like the last time. I don't remember when it was, but when the league got that big influx of money from the new TV deal, and you had all those players getting signed to these big contracts, and then 3 years later, we're like Nick Batum had damn near a max contract, I think. Like, and you looked at it and you were saying like how did these people get these paychecks? And I feel like that's what's happening now with this new CBA, because a lot of these guys haven't really proved anything, but they're getting 55 million a year.
But listen, the Andy, they can give them maximum contracts, but GMs must be careful how to build the franchise, because the NBA just they do not want Golden State Warriors dynasty to repeat.
Yeah,
they are making harder teams to build the dynasty with this CBA.
Right, but the thing is, though, is that this lack of a real salary cap, like the ability for these players to make that much money, is going to lead to teams that are stuck with awful contracts for years. And the thing is like NBA GMs, like there are some who are very intelligent. There are some like Billy King or Sam Hinkie who who are not like they're just this side of a rock in terms of brain power. And that's the problem, is if you have one of those guys like a Billy King, I mean, like, you're going to find yourself giving a 5-year max contract to, like a 36% outside shooting role player because, reasons. And that's the problem I see, is I feel like there needs to be a little bit more control on the salaries. Because, like, take Halliburton, for example. He's a really good player. Excellent. But he didn't do it. Like, hasn't been substantially better on the Pacers than Malcolm Brogdon was. Let me put it that way.
No.
Well,
but if you look at Tyler, though, you can see was in Sacramento that he was going to be good.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see this year coming up if he's going to be able to sustain what he's been doing or getting better. And to me, the person that everybody should try to emulate, in my opinion, every year to get better is Jaylen Brown. If you look how hard he worked on the offseason, he got better every year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So hopefully this year, I don't know what kind of video he's gonna show us, but I hope he show us that he's dribbling the basketball or he's dribbling a tennis ball or something, because his dribbling is just
God, his dribbling, like, I think maybe some of it's prisoner at the moment, but in Game 7, his dribbling regressed to rookie year.
Maybe
that was bad.
Maybe the other.
I think though that would be a good. I think he's a good person to look at. That
do you know what I think, Andy? Do you know what I think about Jaylen Brown? Maybe the smartest thing Joe Mazzulla should do is if he runs the pick and roll with Porzingis and Tatum, let's say Tatum as ball handler, Porzingis as big man, and have Jaylen Brown involving in off-screen actions to make him off-ball guy. I don't know if he's going to be happy this way, but I think that we should run actions for Jaylen Brown and not leave him to create for himself.
I agree.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I think that's what they're going to do. The high pick and roll with Porzingis is going to be
I think it
a
will
money
be killer.
maker.
Yeah. You have options out of pick and roll. Option number 1, Tatum. Option number 2, Porzingis, or Jaylen Brown standing in the corner. And I think that he has excellent corner 3.
Basically use him the same way the Warriors have used Klay Thompson over the years. Because Klay doesn't do a lot of, he can dribble and he can shot create, but he doesn't do it a lot. He usually is catch and shoot from Curry.
Exactly.
Double screen actions, stagger screen actions, and catch and shoot. Yeah, absolutely that way.
So let me ask you guys a question. Have you seen the kid that they got from Washington State University? I don't know if I sent you guys a link to him. He's going to be on a summer league team. He's 6'11" with a wingspan of 7.
I heard
7-3.
of him, but didn't watch him. Really.
What is his name? Good God.
Oh,
From
oh
Washington.
gosh.
Washington State University.
From Washington State. They signed Brissett, 2 years deal with the Celtics. Let me just find it if I can open. The former Syracuse forward Osai Brissett signs 2 years deal with the Celtics in the free agency. Syracuse forward Osai Brissett. Considering limiting options, the guy is 25 and he played 172 for Toronto, waived by Toronto, then Indiana Pacers. He was on 10 days contract, averaged 7.4 points per season. They added another wing to the roster, and he can compete for rotational spot. He's 6'7" foot. He's not great 3-point shooter, career 34%. He can score some and give some options behind Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Kev, will you talk about the? I think he's got like an African name.
Yes.
Udoka is the first name, right? Which is ironic, but
yeah, 4 year or something like that.
Washington. I will find Celtics sign Washington guy. I want you to comment me idea of Cedric Maxwell about signing. I was having the picture. He thinks that the Celtics should add, if you see, Monte Harrell. But how Harrell would fit Andy with the Celtics? How he envisions Monte Harrell and big man depth. This man, Mr. Cedric Maxwell. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see why we'd go and get another center at this point, unless we're intending on trading Robert Williams. I mean, because we have what do we have now? We have Porzingis, we have Al Horford, we have Robert Williams, we have Luke Cornett, I think, is still on the roster. I mean, like, how many, like, are we trying to be the Philadelphia 76ers and draft a team of all centers here? You know, what we need right now is guards. So, I mean, like, I think Montrezl Harrell's a good player. He's always been, he's always been a very, I guess you would say, like, athletic, very passionate player. But I just don't like. I don't like. Where would we fit him onto the roster? Like, what is he going to do unless we trade somebody? I don't really see there being a lot of room for him.
Yeah, neither do I. I think he's 2 years too late from coming to Boston.
Yeah.
When they had opportunity to get him, he didn't come. He went to Philly, and didn't even get off the bench. To me, that's like a wasted spot because I put him in the same category as Gordon. As not, but yeah, as Gordon, because just think about it. As veteran as he was, Maduka didn't even play him in the playoffs against Miami. I mean, like, sometimes you need to experiment. You know, it's that one guy that you pull off your bench that may spark the team. He never got a chance to play at all. But why you got him on the team for? You brought him on the team for a reason, and we never seen him. The best game he played all year, in my opinion, was when we beat Philly in Philly, and he played.
Yes, he did.
And other than that, I mean, I'm like, why bring the body in here if you're not going to use the body? Now, I don't know about you guys. I always taught that if you got players on the bench, the best thing they can do for you is give at least 5 fouls.
Or 6. I mean, listen, I would like him, for example, if he agrees to veteran minimum, and if it doesn't hurt us, he can be better than Luke Cornett, let's say that way. But rotation
can he
guy,
though?
I don't know.
And that is the question.
Because if we want, yeah, and the thing is if we want to play 5 out, which seems to be what we're trying to do.
Yep.
I don't see Harrell shooting.
Yeah, I think Horford will be starting center. Porzingis at 4. We're playing 5 out. And I think that if we keep Grant Williams, Williams will be the first guy off the bench. We still playing 5 out. Anyway,
Yeah.
Kevin, I found your guy. Maybe he is Washington University, Frank Kepnang, 6'11". Is this the man from Cameroon that you're looking for
Sure.
or
Can you
not?
show a picture of him?
Frank Kepnang. I will try to
Wait a minute.
upload it, but
Let me
on
grab
the
my phone
show
because
using the different account.
I haven't
But
watched him on my phone for a minute
Frank
there.
Kepnang, he's center to 200. Yeah. So he is. I will send you inbox. So he is 6'11", 250 pounds from Cameroon, and he is the center. Frank Kepnang, only player in Washington roster that is fitting your description, from Cameroon, hometown, Yaoundé,
Okay.
Cameroon, senior, 6'11" center. Maybe we sign him for summer league roster.
Yeah,
purposes.
they actually drafted him.
Anyway,
Yeah, so they also have
Kepnang.
Balcerowski or whatever, the Polish guy who's 7'1" on summer league team.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Celtics draft 223. So I only know that we selected Jordan Walsh. Yeah, I know that we had second rounders, but didn't follow the results of later. So Kevin, you think that we drafted him actually?
Mohamed Gayu.
Okay, so it's not that guy. Definitely didn't watch him.
Yeah, from
Wanted to ask you
Senegal.
about
Oh no,
couple of.
wait.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Wanted
He
to
was
ask you about couple of
he got
other moves.
they
from
switched. I guess they
teams.
it was a 30 when they the 35th and the 39th pick got switched. Boston traded the 35th pick to somebody,
Yes.
and then they got the 39th pick, and this is the guy that they
We
got.
got four second rounders for that pick. Yeah, because second rounders are important in this new CBA. But don't know which player did we draft except Jordan Walsh. Wanted to ask you about a couple of other guys. Dylan Brooks, 4 years, 80 millions with the Rockets. So he found
Enjoy
the team.
Houston.
Yeah. Russell Westbrook is still there. Don't worry. Clippers, 2 years deal, 8 millions. Yeah. So Lillard could be traded to either Houston or Clippers. I mean, Miami is preferring to keep Caleb Martin over any trades. According to Bleacher Report, Miami is prepared to offer a package centered Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and the picks for Lillard. Do you think that Heat would have higher rankings than they have now with Damian Lillard, Andy?
With who?
Damian Lillard, Dame.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question. You broke up for me.
Lillard could be traded to Heat or Clippers.
If he goes to the Heat, that's bad for Boston.
Yeah, they are preparing to give the package centered with Tyler Hero and Robinson for Lillard, and they are going to keep Caleb Martin, the Heat.
Yeah. I mean, like, it'll make the Heat better. I think on paper, Boston is still a better team than Miami, even if they add Lillard. If they trade Hero, I mean, Lillard is obviously a better player. But how much does he really move the needle beyond having a healthy Tyler Hero? I mean, I don't think he really moves it that much. His health is a big question mark.
like I consider
Heat would be top four, but Philadelphia depends. Philadelphia depends. If you can hear me right now, Philadelphia depends on James Harden. What will happen to James Harden, we will see, but they will definitely be top four. The last two deals to discuss, because we don't have time, 5 minutes. Dennis Schroeder to Toronto, 2 years, 26 millions. Jeremy Grant, Trailblazers. Jeremy Grant, 5 years, 160 millions. Trailblazers, and Desmond Bain stays in for some large sum of money. Desmond Bain stays in Memphis. Memphis also signs Derrick Rose. So Memphis is preparing the run for the title. It seems, guys, or at least Western Conference titles. What do you say about Jeremy Grant to Portland? 5 years, 160 millions, and Desmond Bain. I will find it some large sum of money.
I mean, I'll say with Portland isn't relevant. I mean,
yeah,
I'm sorry, but like Jeremy Grant to Portland, like it'll make them a better team. They're not going to come close to touching the best teams of the West.
Yeah,
they just, there's nothing they're going to do outside of signing a true star that's going to put them on the level to contend in the West. Derrick Rose, I wish Boston had signed him. I think he would have been a good option as a veteran.
Same
point guard. But I think that's their insurance, because we know John Morant is going to miss a certain amount of the season, depending on whether or not he can stay off of social media. So I think
Marcus Smart is starter and Derrick Rose from the bench.
Yeah, I think they're just getting insurance to try to get themselves through that period without having Ja. And then they'll make a real run for it. And then Desmond Bain, I mean, like, it's no surprise. I mean, if they're
5 years, 207 millions. 5 years, 207 millions.
Desmond Bain's a really good young player. He's a really good, versatile young wing. That's no surprise.
He is. Kevin, some thoughts? Memphis, the series at the West. They're trying to get at least at Western Conference Finals with these moves.
The scary part about this all is if they win without John Morant, what do they do with John Morant?
Trade him?
Because they've been winning without him before.
And
if they can, if they can have a decent record, while he's gone, do you look to move him? Do you look to move off of him, especially if he's not reaching the marks that he has to? Because I think he got to go to counseling and he got to do this, he got to do that, and a whole lot of stuff he got to do in order to come back. So, I mean, as a player, you got to look at. I mean, if you think about it, if I'm playing on that team, and he did this a second time around, gotta be saying, yo, bro, what are you doing? The opportunity for us is right now. You know what I'm saying? And you're messing up the opportunity for us to be better.
He ruined his value. Somebody says on the national medias, Perkins, I think that Zion Williamson and Ja Morant seriously damaged their value, and just the public opinion about themselves, especially Ja Morant.
The thing with Zion though is it's health. That's one thing. That's a different story. With John Morant, it's not like he made one mistake. There's a definite pattern of behavior with allegations and evidence that follows John Morant and his actions. And I'm saying that at some point, I'm sure, Kev, you remember the Aaron Hernandez saga, with the Patriots. It feels kind of like that, where, hanging out around the wrong people, doing a lot of the wrong things. At what point does the franchise say, we don't want to deal with this anymore? And I mean, a player with his talent will find a place in the NBA, but I mean, John Morant's got to take a serious look at his life, because I mean, he could be set for life. He could be a face for the NBA. Even now, like if he turned it around, he could become a face for the NBA still.
Exactly.
But if he keeps going, I think he's one or two more charges or issues, incidents away from blowing that and not being, and losing out a lot of money in the NBA. I think he'll play, but I think he would lose a lot of money.
Hey, real quick, I got a question for you guys. Are they bringing any one of the point guards to the summer league that they got over in Europe?
No, I know Jan Madar's not coming over.
So what are they gonna do with these guys, man?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, we're starting a European team. Well, like we'll have like the Paris Celtics in Europe or something.
I don't get it, man. I'm
I don't know either.
One thing about Brad Stevens is he keeps everything under the cuff. Danny Ainge, he kind of give you a little, he'll give you a little bit. He'll let you put your feet in the water to see it's warm and tell you take it out. With Brad Stevens, you don't know nothing. You have no idea what he's doing until it's done.
The last question, because the time is running out, I just uploaded this picture from ESPN. So D'Angelo Russell, he extended with the Lakers. So their rotation could be D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, Anthony Davis starting 5. Rotational guy. They got Gabe Vincent from the Heat. Cam Reddish just signed with the Lakers. Tauran Prince, Jared Vanderbilt, and Jackson Howie. I guess. Let me just remove this.
Jackson Hayes.
Jason Hayes. Jackson Hayes. So they have like good top 10 guys rotation. So what do you think about the Lakers? Can they do better against Denver Nuggets? And I would say no. Sorry, but no.
They're going to have the same issue. They can't, like, there's nobody on that roster who I would trust to defend the Jokic Murray pick and roll. I just don't.
Yeah.
And I think that D'Angelo Russell was a reach for him to found some money. I think he'll probably be gone by All-Star break if he can just be consistent playing, because he got lost in the playoffs. Now, Gabe Vincent, could he step in and be that starting point guard for them? Probably could, because he plays great defense. But you just gave D'Angelo Russell that money, and I think they did that but now I'm trying to figure this one out. Would you have kept D'Angelo Russell over Schrader? Is my question. I'm gonna say no, because Schrader's first pass. He's a pass first guard with that team, and
Russell better player.
And Russell's a better player, but in the playoffs, Russell was nowhere to be found. He couldn't play defense. He couldn't shoot. I'm like, so I don't know. I think I could have kept Schrader, for insurance purposes, but we'll see.
Okay, guys, I mean, the time is up. I'm really glad that we chatted. And by the way, we will continue in the next show, Kevin's show. Join us the next show. It is always fun when the three of us are chatting. I hope, guys, that we informed you about the free agency and the news. And Kevin, your show is Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday. It'll be Monday, 6:30 to 9. We're gonna talk about a little bit of everything. I mean, you got a lot of stuff going on baseball. Ain't too much going on in football, other than unless Hopkins signs with if Hopkins and Dalvin Cook signs with the Patriots, that makes that division a whole lot different.
It does. But do we actually have a quarterback yet? Like who could pass better than I can? Because
man. And in baseball.
I noticed, by the way, Kevin, I noticed, sorry for interrupting you, I noticed that our last show, number 29, Andy, had like 20 plus views at the YouTube. It seems like the Celtics fans wanted to hear our take on Marcus Smart trade. And Kevin, I don't know if you watched it. I think that we succeeded to stay normal, to not overreact one way or another, because one side is announcing the new dynasty in Boston with Kristaps Porzingis, and Marcus Smart fans announced that Boston will just be like playing teams or something without Marcus Smart. I mean, I think that we stayed neutral. Let's say that way.
Marcus Smart being my favorite player on the team, I got it. I mean, I went to bed that night thinking that Brogdon was gone. Woke up in the morning and said, "Huh?" But again, if you understand the philosophy of the Boston Celtics is they getting to the Eastern Conference Finals not their goal. Has never been their goal. Getting to the NBA Finals and winning has been their recipe for success. So when you don't do that, somebody has to move. And the thing about it, people need to understand, no team ever repeats going to the NBA Finals with the same team they had the year before last.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I told you guys, and I keep on repeating that we cannot just retool after two lousy seasons in the playoffs. Yes, we were in the NBA Finals, but otherwise, other than this Nets series 2 years ago when we swept them, in every single series we underperformed. If you analyze it, we could not close Atlanta Hawks in 6. We could not close Sixers team in 7. We lose to Miami Heat, previous years also. So I think that it was this decision that I could envision, And by the way, before the trade, not knowing anything, I said in our chat when we discussed that I think it's time to the Celtics to move on from Smart. I thought maybe to get him from the bench, but they actually traded him, and it was like accident. It was like Plan B, like Kevin said. If Clippers didn't vetoed the trade, Marcus Smart would have stayed, and Malcolm Brogdon would be in Los Angeles Clippers. But it is what it is.
I don't think trading Smart was a good thing. I mean, I think it's a better team because Porzingis is a better player.
Yeah.
But I don't think that losing Smart was good for the Celtics. I think it's going to hurt them. He was the best passer by a pretty wide margin. And he was the leader on that team because nobody else on that team has demonstrated leadership to me. Like when I look at that team, like Jason, I see Jason as almost like a Kevin Durant type guy, just a little bit, less weird, but very much like KD, very talented player, but he's not the guy who's going to lead your team.
Somebody's going to step up and be the leader. I think that's what they're looking for. Also, there was rumors that him and Joe didn't get along either. There was some comments he made about Joe as well. And I was going to say something about that trade. Well,
I don't know what.
If you think about it now, the Clippers are still talking to Boston about Brogdon.
Yes, we said it prior to your coming. If I'm Brad Stevens, I would hang up to Clippers. I would say thank you for calling, but absolutely no. Because you didn't want him before, so why would we answer to you now? And what player would you trade for from Clippers, Andy?
I mean, it depends on who LA is willing to trade. I mean, that's what it boils down to. I mean, I think that the thing for Boston moving forward, I think going back to the Game 7 and the Heat series in general, but I think Game 7 especially is what really motivated ownership to make these changes. Because what Game 7 showed us, it was nothing about, like Smart so much as it was this team lives or dies by Jason Tatum. Because Tatum went down with an injury, and the entire rest of the team fell apart. Jalen, like to me, there's a lot of talk right now because of the trade about Kristaps Porzingis and what he could bring to Boston. To me, the biggest question, the biggest hurdle, the biggest factor in Boston advancing to win a championship is Jaylen Brown. Because Jaylen Brown, when Jason Tatum went down, that was Jaylen Brown's time as the number 2 guy on a team that had just been to the finals last year. That was his time to step up from number 2 to be the number 1. And he completely regressed under the spotlight. And so me, he has to step up and play like a number 2 star.
I agree.
So this line down there that you see is the conclusion of the show. I could say now it is time the Jays to be the leader, the
But that's
leaders.
not their personality. That's the thing. That's neither their personalities. At some point, I mean, like Kev, you know, in the military, you say you can train some leadership, but really, your great leaders are
Yeah,
born, not made.
yeah, yeah.
Like it comes down to who you are as a person. Some people are natural leaders. They're charismatic. They have that ability to take charge. And some people
Mm.
you can train them for years, and like they couldn't lead a horse to water.
Yeah, I feel that the team is not over, and we will see at least one big move. I know that Brad Stevens is not stupid man, and I know that he knows that he must bring another floor general passer, backup point guard, whatever you call it, and we cannot get him via free agency. So that means that somebody is going to be traded. I feel like Grant Williams is gone to balance the roster again,
Yeah.
and we sign somebody big man, maybe the Herald, like Maxwell said, or somebody else. I think that is going to happen. I don't see Brogdon going right now because we need Brogdon right now. But we will see what happens. Anyway, Kevin, we step up the time, but with you, the time is flying. You must come again to our show
Hey,
soon.
wait a minute. Ain't nobody coming on after you, right?
No, no, absolutely. But
Igor, do you have a date tonight? Do you have a date tonight that you're not telling us about?
No. But I thought that we have show after or something.
Well, I mean, the TV, the TV part of it probably is off, but we on YouTube, and YouTube can go forever. So, hey,
Okay, if that is the case,
do I do
if
have a
that
question
is
for
the
you guys?
case, go.
If Kyle Lowry gets cut, what y'all think as a backup
Okay.
point guard?
Kyle Lowry, why not? Why not? But I have a question about his injury status.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, injury. That's the only concern I'd have.
Injuries.
So who do you guys out of this? Who's out there, point guard wise? You think that they could bring in? Because I mean, Chris Paul was an ideal person, I thought, and he left and went to Golden State. Why? I have no idea.
I thought Derrick Rose.
Did we all agreed in the chat room about Derrick Rose? We see he's gone.
Yeah, Derrick Rose is gone.
Derrick Rose is gone.
I can't think of nobody else right now off the top of my head, free agent wise, that could come in. We can't find another Rondo nowhere, can we?
Yeah.
I mean, it must be the trade. You know, you try to trade for somebody from the weaker teams. You know, non-playoff teams. Their starting point guard with Grant Williams and the picks and whoever. I will try to upload another picture. I don't have anybody. For example, Markel Fultz. We discussed it from the Magic, Andy. I know that the Magic wants Grant Williams, so why not Markel Fultz for backup point guard, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could go with somebody like Fultz. I mean,
what about Reggie Jackson from Denver?
Yeah, Reggie Jackson from Denver would be good, decent. I mean,
why not? Absolutely, why not?
I mean, that would be an option.
I'm trying to upload something. I mean, I don't have the option, but I don't want Patrick Beverly. That's for sure. Okay, I uploaded the picture. I don't want Patrick Beverly. That's for sure. So the picture is this. Which teams and players got the best deal? Fred VanVleet, 3 years, 130 millions. The Rockets, man. The Rockets again. Oh, man. The Rockets signed Dillon Brooks, 4 years, 80 millions. It will be fun in Houston this off season. I feel definitely fun. Dylan Brooks and Rockets. So good luck in Texas. Kyrie Irving, 3 years, 126 million. We discussed Austin Reeves got paid 4 years, 56 millions. Type of deal, Andy, like Robert Williams III. Bruce Brown stayed in Denver, it seems. 2 years.
No, he left.
He left. Which team he signed? 2 years. Detroit or not? 2 years. 45 millions. Bruce Brown. Let me find Bruce.
The Pacers.
The Pacers. Brown signs with him with which with the Pacers. With the Pacers, 2 years, 45 millions. Yes, Tyrese Halliburton and Bruce Brown, 2 years, 45 millions. Draymond Green with the Warriors, 4 years, 100 millions. 4 more years of Draymond. Kyle Kuzma, Washington, 4 years, 102 millions. Jeremy Grant, we said it, 4 years, 160 millions. In Portland, Dylan Brooks in Rockets, 4 years, 80 millions. Russell Westbrook Clippers, 2 years, 8 millions. D'Angelo Russell, 2 years, 37 millions. So Andy, I mean, go ahead. Which deals you like and you don't like?
I actually think Austin Reeves is a really good deal. He was very good for the Lakers, and 4 years for 56 million. That's really good for a guy that was able to hit, like 20-point games next to LeBron. I think that's a very solid deal. Draymond, I like Draymond's deal. I mean, I think it's slightly overpaying, but he's so critical to the Warriors. I'm not surprised. I don't like. I mean, D'Angelo Russell. I mean, I don't know. I'm split on that. I mean, I think for what he is, that's not a bad deal. To be honest, like you're paying what, like 18 million a year for him. That's not awful. I mean, the rest, Jeremy Grant, that's not a terrible deal for Portland. If you were a contending team, I think that was a bad deal, but it's Portland, so I'm not, Dylan Brooks, 20 million a year. Yeah, no. I would not be thrilled about that if I was a Houston fan. But I think, honestly, if I look at this, I think the two best deals here are going to be Austin Reeves, because I think that's a really good way to lock up a young guy who showed a lot of potential. You get locked him in for 4 years at pretty much a bargain price, because I don't know what the math comes out to. It's probably somewhere around like 14 million a year, I think, something like that. So that's a good deal. And then Russell Westbrook for 4 million a year. I mean, like, I know Westbrook has had his issues. He's not the guy he used to be. But you're paying $4 million a year for a guy who was a freaking NBA MVP. I mean, he doesn't have to do a whole lot to earn that value back. So I think that's actually a pretty good signing for the Clippers.
Russell Westbrook from maximum guy to 2 years, 8 million guy. Kevin, I have one more deal that just came around, but comment me these deals if you wish.
Okay.
Do you see them? Van Vliet, Irving, Reeves, Bruce Brown, Green, Kyle Kuzma, Jeremy Grant, Dylan Brooks, Russell Westbrook, D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, I see him. Okay, so Van Vliet was that was a no-brainer. Kyrie had nowhere else to go. Austin Rivers, they had to overpay him because he's probably gonna go somewhere else. Bruce Brown, if I'm Denver, I'm pissed right now because he could have got that in Denver. He said he want to stay. Draymond, we already heard that the coach said we can't win without Draymond. Kuzma, they had to do that to put people in the seats to make the team exciting. Jeremy Grant, I don't understand that because you're gonna build a team around Jeremy Grant, probably not. Dylan Brooks at Houston, I guess you need somebody that's gonna be a tough guy down there. Russell Westbrook, I think they gave him 2 year, $8 million because I think they are really pushing to bring James Harden out there. I think that's why he took that minimum. I mean, took that deal. D'Angelo Russell was the second choice because they couldn't get Kyrie. I think that D'Angelo Russell was. I don't think he'll be in LA when our star break comes. I think he's probably going to get traded out of LA. The best deal to me, I think, is probably Austin Reeves. He elevates the Lakers to be a competitive, good team.
Mhm.
Bruce Brown went for the money, basically. Jeremy Grant went for the money. Kyle Kuzma could have went somewhere else, but he went for the money. And again, like we were saying earlier, a lot of these guys have they other than for real, Van Vliet, Kyrie, Draymond, and maybe Jermaine Grant. Those guys have been proven players that can play in the league. Everybody else, I mean, Kuzma is still a good player, but he's in Washington. So you got to figure out how you're going to get people in the seats in Washington if he's going to be there paying him that type of money. I think
Uh,
I think the steal
mhm.
is definitely Russell Westbrook because again,
Mhm.
I think that James Harden that might be his destination.
Oh.
It's all said and done with the Clippers.
I have another deal. Of course, please appear at
Wow.
the screen.
So
Uh,
here's a question. Going back to the point guard question while you're bringing that up, Igor.
mhm.
Right? What about DeLon
Yeah,
Wright
yeah,
in
yeah.
Washington?
You you know
Why
what's
not?
funny? You know what's weird because I was looking at this roster and I said that's Andrew's man right there.
I'm telling you, man. Like the thing is, he fits well on Boston because he's a bench guy, but he can spot start. He can defend well, pass well. He's very versatile, so I feel
Why
like that
not?
would be beneficial. He's probably cheap.
Why not?
What about
Yes,
the
he
kid
is.
from the Clippers that they cut? That they up he Gordon.
Which one?
Gordon.
Gordon.
Yeah, the
Oh no.
oh,
Houston Gordon.
what's his
This
first
is the deal. Dante DiVincenzo in New York, 4 years, 50 millions.
they overpaid for him.
Ex ex Bucks
I think they overpaid for him.
Because that's
and
what, like
Warriors,
12 million? 12
50
million a
millions.
year for him?
Yeah, they overpaid for him.
Yeah, I
In,
don't
Four
know. I gotta
years.
look up his stats to see what he actually did last year.
in New York, and New York New York's a team that's in the running for maybe James
Top
Harden's.
four.
Oh,
They want to be top four. And the news is saying that free agent Dante DiVincenzo reunites with his Villanova title teammates Jalen Brunson and Josh Hartz to bolster Eastern Conference semifinalists. And Eastern Conference semifinalists, New York Knicks, they want to be in the Eastern Conference finals this year. Okay, I want to date some supermodel, but
I
it
mean,
doesn't work that way.
DiVincenzo had a good season last year. I could see where they paid it for him. He was 39.7% from beyond the arc.
Yeah, definitely.
but
He's a
you
good
got to
player.
remember, he's with Golden State, so he's going to get those types of shots because
Well, yeah.
you got
I,
Clay and Steph out there.
I think
I,
it's an overpay, but I understand where they overpaid for him at.
Uh-huh. I have another trade. Clips acquiring KJ Martin from the Rockets. The Rockets signed, as we heard, whom they signed, Dylan Brooks and not Gabe Vincent, but another guy who signed with Rockets. We commented before. I just slipped out of my mind. So they traded away KJ Martin for the two future second round draft picks. the Clippers have been for the Martin. Martin is average 13 points, 5.5 rebounds, 57% shooting last season, 80% from within 3 feet in the rim. He is 34% three-point shooter. Also, he has 173 dunks the last year, 52 overall pick, 2020th out of EMG Academy. So he is the son of Kenyon Martin, who played for the Clippers, and Lawrence Frank when the Nets were ruling the Eastern Conference. So KJ Martin, the son of Kenyon Martin, he is traded to Clippers from the Rockets. So do you have any thoughts about that, Andy?
It's not a bad trade for LA. I guarantee you LA is hoping he gets back to shooting like he did his rookie year. Because I think his rookie year he was shooting 36% from beyond. And then that dipped last year. He shot 31% from beyond. But I think, if he could get back to 36 from beyond and still be shooting 70-80% near the rim, that's a really good trade for LA. I think you said like that would be really good for them. But it's a gamble. I doubt he'll see a lot of court time unless he comes into the season in good form. But it's a nice depth and future move for him, I guess.
Magic also kept Mo Wagner, 2 years, 16 million deal. I think that it is a solid move, and I would like to have Mo Wagner as my backup, from the bench, but he's expensive, I guess. Any thoughts, Mo Wagner? German forward, 2 years, 16 millions. And by the way, if Grant Williams leaves, one of the forwards that I want to have, for example, could see or want to see in his place Mo Wagner or Kyle Kuzma, but both are signed, So we would need to make a trades for them. Those are the good players forwards, in my opinion. What do you say, Andy?
Well, if we're going to the way, I don't know. I'm not a big fan. I mean, I think they probably will, but I'm not a big fan of trading Grant Williams for a couple of reasons.
Me
First
neither.
of all, he became a good outside shooter, and like Kev said earlier about Jaylen Brown, you could really apply the same statement to Grant Williams. That guy, because remember when he started as a rookie, everybody was making fun of him because he went however many games without hitting a single three-pointer. And now he's like a 38, 39% shooter from beyond. So that says a lot about his work ethic.
Absolutely.
I feel like we're going to trade him, but I feel like he has a good fit with the team right now. So
definitely. Definitely insurance on both positions, 3, 4, and he can play even small ball 5. I love the man, but I feel like he will be traded. Mo Wagner is 6'11", power forward, let's say, average 10.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 2 assists, shooting 50% from the field, under 20 minutes per game. He was late first round 2018 by the Lakers, and he played for Washington Wizards and Boston Celtics before joining Magic during 2020-21 year. Remembering Mo Wagner playing a little for the Celtics before he was traded to the Magic?
Yeah. He was there at the beginning of the season, right?
Yeah. He was with us. He was with us.
Because he started a couple games because Williams was out, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes. I mean, solid guy. Like Andy said, ideal situation would be to keep Grant Williams and to find the point guard. But can we do it? I don't know, because the good point guards are too expensive. I feel like we would need to make a trade. If we make a trade, like Kevin, you said, it's either Grant Williams or Brogdon. I think, or the third guy, Peyton Pritchard. But I don't know if Peyton Pritchard is having high trade value.
There's
Maybe.
a lot of interest. I don't think there's a lot of it. I mean, like I'm sure teams are interested in him as a depth
Yeah.
option or like a sharpshooter type option, but I mean, like I think there's interest, but not the type of interest that gets you a difference-making player. Let me put it that way.
Mhm.
I still think I will step out there and say I still think Time Lord is one of the most intriguing trade pieces on Boston
Yes,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
I love Robert Williams. I have from the start,
Mhm.
but at some point the man cannot stay healthy. That guy gets
Yeah.
injured more
Yeah.
than that guy
Yeah.
gets more injured more than like my 75 or 70-year-old mother does.
Mhm.
You
you know
know,
what else? What else though he does I don't like is he won't shoot the ball outside the paint. He
that
gets the
too.
ball. He gets the.
Yeah.
He reminded me of Perkins because I remember when they traded Perkins. I told my brother, I said Perkins rebounds. I said, but they need him to be a scorer. I said, so when he sets the high pick and roll and stands with the ball, the defensive player is in the paint. I said they're not gonna call 5 seconds on him because because he's not gonna shoot the ball. And that's what I'm saying. Grant Williams, he does have a little jump shot on the side, but anything in front of the basket, he won't shoot the ball. I'm like, this man,
Yeah.
Robert Williams. Mhm.
even if you miss it, at least the
The
guy
thing,
gonna defend you next time.
yeah, that's the thing for me. And the other thing is like, so Robert Williams is a very efficient scorer because all he does is dunk. You know,
Yes.
but the thing to me is like it doesn't fit Boston. We don't use that ability because think about it, against Miami in some of those games, he was a perfect 100% from the floor. And we said that I said this on the show, Igor. Remember, I'm
Yes.
saying like the guy shoots like 4 out of 4, 5 out of 5. I think the first 3 games of that series he hadn't missed a shot,
Right.
but it's because Spoelstra is giving it to him because
Yeah. Yeah.
we
Because
don't
they're
run
gonna
enough of those plays. Like
they
and,
Yeah.
give up a 3.
yeah, well, that's the thing, and
Mhm.
that's the one place I actually fault Missoula from that playoff series
Mhm.
is like to me, as a coach, if you are giving me points, I am going to keep running that same play over and over and over again until it doesn't work. Because if you're going to give them to me, I'll take them, and I'm
Yep.
going to rely on the fact that my guy can dunk enough times to make up for your people shooting threes.
Exactly.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what do you say about trading Robert Williams for backup point guard or a good shooting guard who has points in the hands? Robert Williams has contract like 4 years, 56 millions. So
Yep.
we can make decent trade, adding some pieces, picks that we possess, second rounders right now are valuable. So we have 4 second rounders out of this draft, future second rounders. So we can trade Robert Williams for some point guard, decent point guard, and keep Grant Williams, extend Grant Williams, and signed Montezi Harrell, for example, in the place to act Robert Williams. What about this?
Do we still have Blake Griffin?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
I mean, like, I'm not sure that we really need that many more bigs. Like, to me, we have an expendable big somewhere on that roster.
Yeah.
Because you got Blake Griffin, you got Luke Cornett, you got Al Horford, you got Kristaps Porzingis, you got Robert Williams. So that's a third of your roster is really centers. I mean, I guess you could argue Porzingis and Horford are power forwards, Blake as well, but really the way we deploy them is we deploy them as centers. So I mean, like, to me, I feel like we could trade, like, if you package, like, say, Robert Williams and Malcolm Brogdon, for example, if Brogdon's injury isn't as off-putting as we first thought it was, like, that's enough salary and talent to get you a pretty good player.
Yeah. I would trade maybe Pritchard and Williams. I would not trade Brogdon because we need guards. Obviously,
if you're getting a starting caliber point guard in return, I would trade it. I would trade him.
Okay.
I mean,
That's
assuming that you're getting like a starting quality point guard back.
For example, why not try to target in some dreamland scenario Darius Garland?
Yeah, and that's actually who I was kind of thinking of. Is you make that trade for somebody like Garland.
So you ask Kevin, which player? Darius Garland is the second most underrated point guard in the NBA. He is very high IQ player. That might be the closest thing that we have to the true point guard in today's NBA. He's 40% 3 points field goals. 40%.
Yeah.
He's tremendous offensive fit with us. So if Cavaliers are going to go far this season, they're going to need Garland to play good. But Cavaliers are in motions. They are signing, trading away. So why not Darius Garland? And please, no, do not tell me Trae Young. Please do not tell me Trae Young.
Well, here's the question, though. Do you think Trae Young would work with the Boston lineup?
No, because I mean,
I know Kevin doesn't like his defense.
No, that's what I'm going to say. No, please, no.
What defense?
Yeah, exactly. That's my point.
Yeah, I have another name for you guys. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Oklahoma City Thunder.
Oh, I would love that.
I don't think OKC won't part with him. I don't think.
I would love him.
I mean, to somehow to trick him, because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a bucket. His arsenal has no limits. He can score and assist with the best of them. On a winning team, I'm curious what he can do. So if he comes to Boston, I say, I mean, why not? Why not?
I mean, he's a perfect fit, but I think the reality of that happening is, I mean, if we're going to try to make that happen, I think we just wait for Kyrie to chase Luka out of Dallas and throw everything at that. I mean, I actually, you know what? Though? I don't think that's as unrealistic as everybody thinks it is, because if there's one thing Kyrie has been good at doing, it's chasing other stars off of his team. So, I mean.
Yeah, Luka Doncic is number one when you mention him at true point guard potential targets, whatever. Steph Curry is untouchable. Kyrie Irving, we don't want him. Damian Lillard, he doesn't want to be in Boston. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, we mentioned him, yes. Trae Young, please no. Ja Morant, please no, because I don't want to have a gun incident in Boston. You know. And by the way, we must thank Ja Morant, guys, because if he didn't wave his gun at the Instagram post, he would not be suspended. And if he is not suspended, Memphis then would not want Marcus Smart, and we could not facilitate Kristaps Porzingis trade. So Ja Morant actually helped in his weird way to facilitate Marcus Smart trade. So thank him. Spencer Dinwiddie. Spencer Dinwiddie. Yeah, he is good. Dynamic guard. Why not?
Because he's on Dallas. Is he on? No, he's back in Brooklyn now.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, he went back to Brooklyn in the Kyrie trade, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, Brooklyn might be intrigued if we offered them, for him, because he doesn't really fit what they're doing. So I think they're kind of in a rebuild now, since the whole Kyrie, Harden, KD experiment went up in flames.
Why not? If we can get for cheap, I mean, I would not give up.
He's a really good
he's really good backup point guard. If we could get him without giving up somebody from top 6, why not? De'Aaron Fox is a dream. It is not happening, so I don't want to mention it. Even I don't want to. But somebody like Kyle Lowry from Miami, Spencer Dinwiddie that we mentioned, Fultz that we mentioned. We can get some decent point guard, shooting guard off the bench. Absolutely,
Yeah, I think it's doable.
Markelle Fultz is very interesting.
Yeah,
he's very interesting.
If we could pull the Markelle Fultz off, Only thing he got to do is just be a point guard. He can create his own shot as well.
Yes.
Yep.
That would be really interesting.
Yeah, he's not a great. He's actually improved defensively too, and he has the build to be an elite defender.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. He was the top
he
pick
hasn't
for
been,
a
but-
reason. Yeah. He
yeah. I
was
mean,
the
like,
top pick for a reason, right?
well, I think he was top pick because the NBA media sucks at analyzing the draft. I mean,
Okay.
well, I mean, like, but I think like in Boston, like Kev said, I think he'd be perfect because he doesn't have to do a whole lot. He just has to run the offense and get the ball to the guys. You know, and I think that
Yeah.
would be really good for him.
Yeah, he would be like a backup point guard. He would come from the bench.
I have
He could
another
rebound.
guys. Terry Rozier.
But
That's
too
another one
expensive.
I've considered. He's expensive.
Why
now.
not expensive?
What's
Too
his
expensive.
contract right now?
He's
He
like
has
20
very
million
good.
something, isn't he?
I will find in a minute. We could not afford him
Brogdon
only.
would have to go.
Yeah, Brogdon would have to go definitely, but he has more than Brogdon. Let me find.
He's about 24 million.
4
a year.
years, 4 years, 96 millions.
Yeah, he's
4
about
years,
24 million a year.
average 24 millions per year. And how much is Brogdon?
22.
Maybe it can work. Okay, then it can
Brogdon's
work.
at 22,
It can
so
work.
If you sent something
It can
like,
work.
if you sent like Time Lord and Brogdon, that would definitely make it work.
Or Pritchard or somebody. Yeah, definitely. Why not?
I think Charlotte would be more interested in Robert Williams.
I think so. And we know that Terry Rozier is fit with Boston, you know. He can play defense. He can score now. He's two-way guard that we love. And I think that it will be interesting move. What do you say?
That would be fascinating.
That would be fascinating move to perform, you know.
Yeah.
But he's happy with Charlotte because I don't think that he wants to be on the bench. By the way, he could start right now with the Celtics, right?
He'd be the starter. If it was Terry Rozier, he'd be starting. Because there's nobody there who's going to start over him.
And I know it's a hard wish, but he comes as a starter. You still got Derek
White,
and you have Derek and Brogdon still come off the bench, so you still got your 14 to 16 that can come off the bench between either or. But I'm gonna say this though, some kind of way I think Boston needs to make if they can push Jalen to the 2 spot.
Okay.
I think that would be better for him.
Yeah.
Definitely. Absolutely, definitely.
Yeah, he
2
does
spot
better as
off ball guard. Yeah, definitely. I have deal to comment. Max Strus agreed on 4-year, 63 million sign and trade with Cleveland Cavaliers. 4 years, 63 millions. He was with us, remember? With Cleveland Cavaliers in 3 teams deal. Miami Heat sends 2nd round pick. And the San Antonio Spurs and Max Strus. San Antonio Spurs acquired Cedi Osman, Lamar Stevens, and 2nd round pick. And Cavaliers received Max Strus. Fascinating. Max Strus, 4 years, 63. I'm just wondering, now that they have Strus, are they open to trade Darius Garland to us? Maybe. Possibly.
It depends on how they view Donovan Mitchell. Do they see Mitchell as a point guard or a shooting guard? That's the question.
But Max Strus can play point guard.
Shooting guard, small forward.
But he can play point guard. I saw him a little playing point guard in Miami. In weird lineups.
He's a small forward.
He's shooting guard. Yeah. He's shooting guard for shooting forward, small forward. But I mean, yeah,
So
Donovan.
the question is, do the Cleveland Cavaliers see Donovan Mitchell as their shooting guard and Strus as their small forward, or do they see Mitchell as their point guard, Strus as their shooting guard? I think they see Mitchell as a shooting guard because that's really what he plays best. And Strus is replacing Osman, who was a small forward.
But you know what though? I mean, that is an upgrade. But Strus Max don't play no defense.
No, he doesn't.
No.
And like last year, he's a career 37% shooter from beyond. Last year, though, he shot 35, which you're paying a lot for a guy who's shooting 35% from beyond and doesn't play a lot of defense. Just saying, like.
I think the NBA, you're gonna see an average score of 120 at the beginning of the year. US.
Yeah. Kyle Kuzma, we commented Washington Wizards deal 4 years, 102 millions. I mean, he's okay player, but I don't know for this money. Okay, he's good player.
Well, if you're Washington, you got Phil somehow.
Yeah. I mean, Miami Heat are trying to facilitate Dame trade and keep Martin. And obviously, Portland wants Martin. You mentioned, Andy, that or somebody that this saga will I mean hit Portland Trail Blazers. They are irrelevant with him, but especially without him, they will be more irrelevant if that is possible.
Yeah, they're done. They're just going to sink into obscurity if Dame leaves. Like they don't really have anything without Dame. Miami, go ahead. If Miami's going, if Miami trades for Dame, I feel like they're probably going to have to give give their future for him.
Yep.
Like that's what.
Caleb Martin, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson.
Yeah.
Miami has no draft picks.
Yeah, and
Miami doesn't control draft picks until I don't know 2030 year.
They showed a scenario on ESPN about Damian going to Brooklyn, going to Philly, going to Miami, and the best case scenario if Portland wants to get draft picks back. And the salary cap will match, will be the Spurs.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. No other deals except small deals. Again, Rockets agreed with Dillon Brooks. We said it. Jock Landale center with Rockets, I think. Dwight Powell center returned to Dallas. Yeah. And Jones, Mo Wagner, we said it. I think that's pretty it. We are waiting for Summer League to see. And you, Kevin, asked about Partizan Belgrade point guard. I think that he said Yam Madar. I think that he said that he's going to stay in Belgrade for another year to play EuroLeague, which is probably the best for him. We could see, I hope, at the Summer League. I don't have informations. Yam Begarin, our last year's pick, Yam Begarin, and I mean Yam Madar at the Summer League potentially to play.
Yeah, one of them guys.
So neither one of them is going to Summer League. Or I don't know about Beggar, but I know Yam Madar they have said is not going to play in Summer League.
And I'm trying to figure out what was Danny Ainge's what was his thoughts on getting those two guys, stashing them away for whatever reason. Because they're still young, right? They're like 19, 20 years old. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out what
I mean, he's trying to hit the jackpot with these guys from Europe. I'm sure that they are trying to find a new Jokic or something. If they develop, they develop. If they don't develop, then nothing. I mean, that's what he's trying to do, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I guess the way that they look at it, probably, I guess you're better off having them play full seasons to develop in Europe as opposed to coming to the U.S. to sit on the bench in the NBA. I think that might
Mm-hmm.
be a line of thought because if we brought Jan Madar over and he's not ready to start, where's he going to fit onto the roster with Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon, Peyton Pritchard?
Absolutely. And Rich Conti just commented Dillon Brooks deal with Rockets like lightning money on fire. But Rockets just spent 210 millions combined on Dillon Brooks and Fred Van Vliet. I mean, and
Dillon Brooks can tell the future. Dillon Brooks can tell the future because he told LeBron that unless you hang 40 on him, he ain't impressed. Well, guess what LeBron did? He went and hung 40. That man is a fortune teller.
So with them two guys, I wonder how many plus that would be for them. Is that another 7 games plus? You know, that's a whole lot of money for two guys that
210 millions, man.
Plus that's one. They're gonna give you plus 7 games.
And what they are trying to do, what they are trying to achieve in Houston. I mean,
fill seats. No, I'm actually serious. Like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to fill seats. What does Dillon Brooks do? He's a polarizing player. People love to hate him. What's going to make people watch the team? People watch the NBA as much for the villains as for the stars. So, but I mean, like talent-wise, Dillon Brooks is basically Marcus Smart with less passing, less leadership, less shooting, less defense.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me you're going to pay him more than Marcus Smart's getting paid?
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Oh my god.
I have another. The Houston Rockets agreed one year deal, $6 million with NBA champion Jeff Green. So it seems like Denver lost Jeff Green and Bruce Brown.
That's unfortunate for Denver. That's going to hurt their depth a lot.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any comments? I mean, Jeff Green is a solid guy. I would sign him if I'm Boston. I would definitely sign him.
Is Denver's cap that messed up?
Is the cap messed up? I mean, yeah, definitely. I think that I'm not sure that we can even give him $5 million mid-level exception because it would hard cap us. If I'm correct.
I'm talking about Denver though. Is Denver's cap that bad? Because they got rid of a whole lot of guys. I mean, you think about it. You win the NBA Finals, you lose all those guys. That's.
I would have thought they'd keep Bruce Brown. I don't know. He's a very valuable type of player, but that's just me. I don't know.
Listen to this, guys. Updated best available NBA free agents. Point guard, Dosunmu, restricted. Kendrick Nunn and Banton. Shooting guard, Michael Beasley. DiVincenzo out. Josh Noel and Matisse Thybulle, restricted. Small forward, Michael Bridges, Kelly Oubre Jr., Tony Craig, and TJ Warren. I heard some rumors that Boston apparently looked after Torrey Craig. I'm not sure.
Powerful veteran. Oubre would be an interesting fit.
Oubre, TJ Warren
but also he's probably too expensive. I think Oubre.
Torrey Craig and TJ Warren, PJ Washington, power forward, Grant Williams restricted, Jeff Green is out. Centers, Christian Wood, Michael Plumlee, Paul Reed, Miami, restricted, Bismarck Biyombo.
There's nothing there very interesting. I'm surprised. I would guess that the Mavs bring Christian Wood back too, but maybe not. I don't know.
Uh-huh. Plumlee, no. Green, yes, but he is out. Grant Williams, hope we sign him. PJ Washington probably will stay in Charlotte. TJ Warren, maybe, but he is too expensive. Torrey Craig, yes, why not? Oubre, too expensive. Bridges will stay in Charlotte. Matisse Thybulle, I think, where is Matisse Thybulle traded? To the Bulls or somewhere?
I don't remember. Philly traded him.
That's
He
how they
part
got.
he was part of the Harden deal, wasn't he?
Yeah, I
Originally?
believe
In
so.
Harden deal.
But then they traded
Yes.
him again, I think.
Again, maybe in Chicago or somebody else. Kendrick Nunn,
Kendrick Nunn's
he
intriguing.
intriguing. That's what I wanted to say. He's solid, young guy, but he fell off the cliff somehow. You know,
He did
he,
work
he
out well at Miami. There were some discipline issues, I think, with Miami.
definitely. The Houston
Yeah.
Rockets again trading Josh Christopher to Memphis, whatever. So not interesting in Christian Wood, Plumlee. Paul Reed will stay in Philadelphia, I guess. Biombo, no. I mean, so yeah, definitely that. Jack White agreed 2 years deal with Oklahoma City Thunder. Jalen McDaniels 2 years deal 9.3 with Toronto. Russell West, Portland.
Portland is where Thybulle went to.
Portland, that's right. Maybe he will stay there. We will see. Rockets, Jock Landale, a lot of moves in Houston again. Houston will be fascinating to watch this year, I imagine, especially with Dylan Brooks there. And I will definitely watch Rockets Lakers games.
I do think the interesting thing with Thybulle is if Boston went for him, or if we are going to trade Grant Williams, he is a credible 3-and-D forward replacement.
Matisse Thybulle,
Yeah.
to trade with Portland.
No, not to trade. You said he's a free agent.
Yeah, definitely free agent. But how much can we offer? You know, we cannot offer even 5 millions mid-level exception, taxpayers mid-level exception, because it would hard capped us, the second apron, and we don't want that. I guess that we are left with biannual exception, I guess, and veteran minimum contracts, or to make a trade, to make sign and trades.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it's looking rough.
But I actually have to go. My tablet's about to
Okay.
die too. So
Okay,
Yeah.
guys, it was the first 2 hour show. So the first hour, Kevin, is on TV, right? And the second hour is on YouTube. And I think we have like 20 viewers at the YouTube, the last show. And I think that this is like bonus hour for our dear viewers at the YouTube. Kevin, man, it was really fun. I think that we explored a lot of scenarios about Boston, and I hope that Brad Stevens or somebody from Boston watched us, because he could get some ideas, you know, right? I mean, and I really would like to keep Grant Williams, but no joke. When you think about it, you cannot find replacement with for Grant Williams. Okay, and cheap. Jeff Green is gone. Somebody else that I wanted, Bruce Brown, is gone. So you really do not have like good forwards right now available. And Grant Williams ahead of Robert Williams, in my opinion, in this Boston system. But we will see. You know, we can trade, like he said, Robert Williams, and you know, replace him with Harrell, Christian Wood, whatever cheap center you want. But I feel like Boston Celtics are in love with Robert Williams' skill set and what he's capable of doing when he's healthy. But the problem is that he's never healthy or rarely healthy, And I feel like they will stick to Robert Williams with the core going into the future. Okay, Kevin, we definitely must repeat this again. Thank you for coming. It was a fun night, and have a good show. Okay?
Yeah,
All right,
have a good night, guys.
Thanks again. So it was show number 30th, free agency updates with Mr. Kevin Dixon, the owner of and the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network, and Igor and Andy. It was fun. See you the next Saturday. Go Celtics in the Summer League.
Welcome to the Shamrock Sports Talk Show with your hosts, Igor Mitic from Serbia, Europe, and Andy Vernon from Concord, New Hampshire. We are about pride, tradition, sweat, tears, victory, and determination of Boston sports. Give us a ring at 512-543-4662. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now, let's get into the Shamrock Sports Talk Show. Hello, and thank you for tuning into the In the Zone Sports Talk Show Network, LLC, where you can find the best in sports talk television and radio shows. Mondays, check out the Just Us Sports Talk Show from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your hosts, Kevin L. Dixon and Dana Clark. Then Tuesday, we have the Stars Talking Cowboys Sports Show from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern with your hosts, Sean Fox, K Boogie, and Cowboys Nikki. And on Wednesday, tune in for the Out the Block Sports Talk Show from 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with hosts Robert Lewis, Donna Hainsworth, and Brett Shields. Then meet up with us on Saturday for the Enhanced Sports Talk Show from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern with hosts Lou Tenor and Steve Davidson. We also have the DMV Sports Talk Show from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern with your host Razul McGee. As well, we have the Shamrock Sports Talk Show from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern with Igor Mitic and Andy Vernon. Finally, rounding out the week, we have on Sunday, That's Not How We See It Sports Talk Show from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern with your host, Alfred Wallace, Tony Wallace, and Harold Robinson III. These shows come to you by way of the In the Zone Sports Talk Show Network, LLC. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.